In this episode of Bear Podcast,
the 6 phases of a gay man's life.
the X-Men's Iceman turns out to be a frigid gay man.
Man jailed after slitting the throat of a man he met on a dating site Grindr.
Condoms of the future.
And viewer feedback.
Yes, all this and more. Stay tuned.
BearPodcast 564. Bigger than the earth, floating through space.
Kind of concerns many of us, even gay people.
He used to be cute, but that bitch she needs to be slapped.
Strip Cards Against Humanity.
And then Sunday night, did you do the sing-along with Sound of Music?
One of them is gay and the other is straight.
I'm so gay.
Apparently he became gay.
It might be a source of sexually positive pleasure.
We worked on it. We had pleasure. That's great.
Is how it's done.
Welcome everyone to Bear Podcast. I am Nard.
And I'm Ray.
And welcome to episode 564. And it's a Tuesday, April 21st.
Happy National Drug Testing Day.
Oh, because of yesterday?
Yesterday was 420.
Yesterday was 420. Everybody gets tested today. They're screwed. Right.
That's right.
You get kind of screwed. Yeah, 420. I think last year, whenever...
You got high?
No, I didn't get high. I never do. I mean, I never tried it. I've never tried pot before. Never. I could smell from other people, or when I go to a concert, I would smell other people smoking it, but I personally have not.
I tried it, but I didn't inhale.
Really? You like and then you did not inhale all the
I
way.
don't know what you're talking about.
So it's just the
mess
mouth.
with drugs or cigarettes.
Oh yeah. So you never really had the effects of it. Okay.
Oh, it'll make you paranoid.
You can make you paranoid.
Yeah.
Just by puffing and releasing.
It'll make you paranoid.
Oh really?
At least that's what I've been told.
Oh okay. 420. Tell us about your pot experiences, guys. Okay. Okay. So let's do some weekend updates. Ray, what happened this weekend?
Well, what happened? Well, I worked in the yard this weekend because it's actually a nice Sunday here.
Mm-hmm.
Houston. So Robbie and I worked in the yard and got the back gardens up, but the front yard looks devastating. So it's just a mess. But that's because of all the rain. So did you get hail?
Oh no!
Saturday night, did you get hail?
No, we didn't get hail. But Mike was warning me about it, and then I was seeing people post on Facebook. They have these pellet size hail and everything.
Some people getting quarter size.
Did you? How big was the hail?
Little small pieces.
So Mike warned me about it. He said he called me in about 5 minutes. You're gonna get hail. You better bring the car in. And he started chatting and chatting. Mike, you said 5 minutes. You're eating up my time. Bye bye. So I moved stuff from the garage.
I was how'd you pull it in the garage?
I pushed out some stuff. I can still fit some in the car. So then I parked in.
Okay.
And then I was waiting and nothing happened. It wasn't even raining. It was drizzling a little, but in this area in the suburbs of Houston, it's not really raining or anything. Yeah. So after probably an hour, I took the car out again. So it was okay. Yeah. And you had pellet size?
We had pellet size, so.
Yeah, okay.
So it wasn't too bad. I mean,
no damage.
It was a very interesting electrical storm.
Yes, it was.
It rolled through, so there's a lot of lightning, a lot of stuff to make.
That was interesting. Yeah.
So I went to Casey and Chris's crawfish boil Saturday.
How was that?
It was good.
Was it spicy?
Well, I don't eat crawfish, so.
What's the use? You ate everything else but crawfish.
Because there was nothing else. Well, they had cake.
So you had cake?
I had cake.
Oh, you had cake. What if it was... Oh, okay, I could tell. What if it is pre-opened for you? You know, somebody else...
I just can't get... It's too messy for me. I don't like messy eating. Okay. And that's all that shit on your hands. No, that's not me. I can't do it. I just can't. I'll eat crawfish, the meat and stuff, if it's already peeled or in food and stuff. But sitting there and doing it myself, nah. It's almost like peeling shrimp. I don't like peeling shrimp and eating them.
You don't want to suck the head?
No. I don't want nasty ass crawfish.
Mm. Oh, well.
So
yeah,
then we also went to Robert and Brett's housewarming party. Congratulations on your new house.
Congratulations on your house.
Nice. So, Robert, our condolences for the passing of your father.
Yeah, that's really sad, Robert. Yeah, it's really sad. You know, you're having a good time because you have a new house and everything, and then something tragic happens like that.
Yeah. So you have to deal with it. So, but I guess the most highlight of my weekend was I didn't get invited to your dinner party.
That's right. It was an impromptu party, yeah, last Saturday.
Right, just impromptu.
It was impromptu, like, hey, who can we have over? Then Mike invited people. Said, oh okay. So he invited the people over.
He invited Wayne and Canyon, but he did not invite me.
Yeah, but we also invited Mark and Kevin. Well, there will be another time when it's a different set of couples.
Right. Sure,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, because oh God, we tried playing. What did we play? Would you rather? Would you rather do this or do that? That kind of thing.
Would you rather bottom or top?
Yeah, and then you can't say you would rather die. You can't say without dying. Anyway, so it's a horrible game. Not because of the questions, but the process of how to get there. We didn't like it, and so it was funny. Kevin was saying, you got kindling now for your fire."
Yeah,
Just throw the board game in the fire somehow. I didn't like it myself too, so but we just wanted to try it. So nobody has tried it, so we tried it. Okay, so we did that, and softball. We played softball last Sunday, and my team won the way. Yay! So we won both games, and we kind of scored a lot. We kind of killed the first team. Well, for one thing, they have disadvantage. They were only playing 9 players as opposed to 10. So you're supposed to have 10 in your team. You can play with 9, but when you're counting, in your roster, you don't have a 10th player, so it's an automatic out. So they always get that out. So they lost against us. So, and then we played against Rage. I got a home run, my first time ever, but it was an accidental home run. How do you define home run? When you hit the ball, hits the fence.
You hit the ball and it goes so far the field nobody can catch it, and you can just sashay around the bases.
In softball, in the MSL, in the Montrose Softball League, it's different because since we're recreational, if you hit the ball over the fence, you're automatic out. Simply because you should not be doing that in this division. You should be doing that in the higher divisions. So that's one of them. So we did that. I did that, but I did not get hit over the fence. It's just that it was more errors. You hit the ball. It was really high. They didn't. It passed them, so it went to the fence, rolling. So I had enough time to run around, and then they threw it to third base. The ball. I thought I'm gonna stop at third base, but then
the guy didn't catch it.
The guy didn't catch it. It went over to the dugout. When that happens, you get an automatic 2 bases. So I had.
So you got to go back to first.
No, go to home.
Well, you say you got
forward.
2 bases.
You got 2 bases instead of third. Instead of just stopping at third, they can go to home.
But you get 2 bases, so why don't you go back to first?
Why don't you go back to home? You don't go backwards. Good God. What world do you live in? So anyway, yeah. So we won. It was fun. Yeah, it was good. So yeah, we caught up 11-10. So that was good. And then I just went home, just pigged out at a Chinese restaurant, and then just went home and slept because I was just so tired. I didn't want to go anywhere.
All those bases wore you out, huh?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's pretty much our weekend. So. How was your weekend, guys? Let's go to the topics, Ray. Okay.
Okay. Our topics for tonight: the 6 phases of a gay man's life. We're going to talk about the first 4. And this article was found on gayguys.com. So we're going to break this down into your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, because that's kind of what we can address in our time frame.
One of the things I could remember, I guess.
Yeah. Since we hadn't hit our 60s or 70s yet. And we hadn't hit our 50s yet, but it's close enough for one of us. That he might be able to close in on some of the stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And some of the stuff is pretty much true whether you're straight, gay, or whatever. I mean, but your 20s in your gay man's life is considered the learning years. This is your learning time. You will fall, you will cut yourself, and you will fail. It's the people that pick you back up again who you should keep in your life, not the ones that kick you while you're down and sally forth without looking behind them. If you don't make tough decisions, you're going to be stationary and never grow to your full potential. Make the wrong choice. So what? this is what being in your 20s are about. It's supposed to be hard. You're traveling the road and don't know what's lurking around the corner, and it can give you anxiety. But be smart. When bad things happen, don't repeat the same mistakes. Instead, learn from it. Learn from your friends' mistakes so you won't repeat their pattern.
So yeah, in my 20s, that's when I remember doing all the mistakes that I did, like well, when it comes to relationships, you don't fall immediately because well, when in my 20s, my first boyfriend was, he was a player, and we
And
only
he had
lasted
you,
for two months
yeah,
only.
and he had you the first time he whipped his dick out and slapped you in the face.
It was small, so he's just really, it's like a finger going in my face. I'm kidding. Anyway, so yeah, that was yeah, in my 20s, I did all my mistakes, and I learned from them. I never regret. I don't regret anything that I did
Yeah.
when I was 20s. In my
Well, see,
20s.
I was kind of a late bloomer. And college was kind of odd for me because I was at an art school and I could be anything I wanted to be, but I was too damn scared.
Yay!
Yeah.
Art school. Sorry,
Um,
sorry, guys. Kidding.
so I kind of went back in the closet, and then my later 20s and early 30s is where I kind of did all my
Oh, you kind of came out when you were doing art school, and then
went back in.
went back in the closet. Wow.
So, and then things really didn't start hitting until my late 20s. So 27, 28, and into my 30s.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
why don't you talk about 30, the associate
Okay, let's
year?
move on to the 30s. We're going to talk, yeah, because and then we'll talk about a little bit of our 30s.
Yeah.
So the associate years, these are the years, 30s. These are the years where you are still finding the pieces to complete your life puzzle. People that come into your life during this phase are usually the ones you'll keep forever because your 20s taught you how to pick your friends from acquaintances. At least they should have. You will also, you also will begin to see your youth slowly disappear. But you should never let this affect your self esteem. You are a grounded person. The best years lie ahead. Now, finally, you can use the lessons you learned in your 20s to make sensible, life altering decisions to further your career and goals. Yeah, like buying a house,
Yeah.
things like
Settling
that,
down.
settling
And see,
down.
my 30s, I moved to Houston. So I kind of went through my 20s again when I first moved to Houston because there was all this
All these
all
men's.
these men's and big change, and things were different from where it was where I grew up. I mean, it was just this whole new life
Mm-hmm.
that opened up. So I had to kind of relive my 20s the first couple of years I was here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my first 5 years in Houston was kind of like reliving my 20s because I was out, I was with a partner, but learning how to be gay or being in the
Okay.
gay world because that wasn't so much where I grew up and where I was living beforehand.
30s.
So
I met you around 2006. That was in your mid 30s
mid
then.
30s, I was probably like 34, 35, something like that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost 9 years ago, 10 years ago. That's when I first met you. And then I remember you. You were just, you were kind of quiet. Well, you were kind of quiet. I knew your name was Ray,
Uh-huh.
but I could see you from afar, and you were with John back then. And then, oh, that's the Ray. And then I didn't know that. Years later, you'll be here with me here.
Yeah, that's right.
In the show.
And I heard about you, and then when I started talking to you is when I found out that podcast that shall remain that is no longer around.
Oh, no, it's not a podcast. It's a serious
It was a serious
Sirius Out
Q
Q radio.
show,
Yeah.
and they wanted to talk to you, but then your accent was too strong. And they
Yes.
asked
Oh
if
my
you were from south of
God,
the border,
that was a long time
and I was
ago.
kind of outraged by that. Just outraged, I tell you.
Yeah. And then Ray asked me to send him the audio because I took it out offline because I was lambasting the guy on the podcast. I got calls. I remember back then I got calls saying, "I think you better take that out because people will lose their jobs if you say something like that." Yeah,
Well, yeah, that's the whole
they
point.
should.
They should.
I remember.
I mean, now if you mistreat somebody like that, you're in a lawsuit and it's discrimination, and you can't you can't hate on gays.
Mhm.
That was
Well,
gay
it's
on
more
gay.
like it's for gay and gay bashing.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
I was
Bullying.
hurt. I was so hurt. But anyway, that was a long
So
time ago. Anyway, so let's move on. That was the 30s. Oh my God.
Okay. All right, the 40s, the teacher. Keep your head on high and be a mentor for younger generations so they can do the same for you. After we often learn more from our students than our teachers. At this stage, you have proven yourself that you're on the right path. The road to happiness is ongoing, and remember, you will never actually get there. The road is meant to be built, never finished. If you think of life this way, it will take a lot of the pressure off. It's a journey, so you need to do is ride the ride until you set for yourself. You're still able to make major life choices, and that will make or break you.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of true. And I think a lot of gay men in their early 40s because they're getting to that age and they're talking about being insecure about feeling your age. I think a lot of gay guys, that happens in their later 30s, early 40s, and they think they have to go nail everything that's 18 years old.
Oh God, I have no.
Not
desire.
that I've ever done that.
I have no desire.
So, but I notice a lot of gay guys kind of go through that thing, and if they're not in a steady, stable relationship, or they get single or something, and it just kind of goes all haywire and everything. But the one thing about my 40s that was interesting is I've had to kind of restart over with my life.
That's how you feel?
That's how I feel. Like I'm starting over from scratch somewhat.
Mm.
So it's been quite interesting.
But you know, what one sentence here, at this stage, you have proven to yourself you're on the right path. I could feel it right now that I am doing the things that I want to do, and I'm going on the right path. Especially with Mike, and things that I do that I need to do the house. Feeling like a grown up. Remember, we were talking about this. I have to fix the house. I have to do this and that. You know, you're knowing things that you need to do and feel good about it because you're realizing that that you're doing things that are right, that you should be right. Yeah.
And see, one of my issues is I felt like I kind of, at a certain part of my life, kind of like in my late 20s, I kind of peaked, I felt like. Because I set goals when I was in high school. I'm going to graduate high school. I'm going to graduate college. I'm going to get out. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to be in a relationship. And all that happened by the time I was 30. Mm-hmm. And I felt like for a long time there in my 30s that I had peaked, and I was kind of like, what do I do now? All my goals that I set for myself, I've reached. Mm-hmm. And it was very hard to look forward and set new goals of what I wanted to do. Mm. And to this day, I'm still having an issue with that. Like, okay, what do I want to do?
You know, thinking about that, that is good. That means you're not settling. You're not settling for what you have. You want more, having more ambition. You have, that's a positive
calls that
thing. Pretentious at this point.
Wanting more.
Wanting more.
So
I think it's a positive thing. Even though you're, in your 40s and you're still wanting to do things, travel more, meet people, accomplish more. Yeah, I feel like that I'm in that stage. So that's a very good sentence.
And for me, I'm also at that point because I'm in my mid 40ish time frame. I'm also starting to think about other things like, oh my God, I'm retiring in 20 years.
Yeah. And sometimes I project also that if I do lose my job, how am I going to live? So, you realize those things.
Yeah, or thinking about changing jobs, and it's like, oh my God, at this age of my life, should I be really trying to do that, or should I just settle for what I got and just roll the ride out? And this stuff. So and prepare for retirement. And then I stopped at 50s because I guess both of us. Well, I'll get there before you will, like 2 or 3 days, but.
So 50s, the time of your life. Your life is now half complete. Yeah, it's considered half if you're in 50s.
Life, yeah.
Consider this the intermission, and you now can breathe, relax, and reflect. You've been there, done that. Allow the fear to leave you, and take comfort in knowing you've lived the best life you could possibly have given yourself. You've worked for what you have. You've struggled for the things you achieved, and if you open your eyes, you will see the rewards that have surfaced as a result. It's not going to be over until you say it's over. In fact, at this stage, you need to open yourself up to the possibility of more learning, and don't let this phase keep you from growing. In order to successfully move on to the next phase in our lives, we must always allow ourselves to mourn the previous one. Don't dwell on the things you may have lost. Instead, focus on what you gained and the things you have yet to. So, if you're in your 50s, I can't say it because I'm not yet there, but I project I want to keep thinking like I'm young. I may have
Well,
a
most people feel like they're young, but they just don't realize why they're in an old ass body.
Yeah, that's right. I have a friend. I don't know if you know my friend Dick. He is 75, 78. Oh my God, he's almost as old as my mom. But he thinks like a 35, which is true. The way I talk to him, the way we communicate, the way we handle things on computers and stuff like that is very his interest in sci-fi,
Yeah.
stuff like that. At 70 plus, wow. And he's still active mentally, which is great. I mean, I'd like to be like that when in my 70s, just still interested with a lot of things and intrigued and everything, and keep challenging yourself, which is great.
Yeah. So, at this point for my 50s, I'm like, okay, by this point, I have to sit down and have my retirement planned. How am I going to take care of myself when I do retire? If I'm able to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's also all this stuff in your 40s that start happening, like your body starts falling apart, which people kind of joke about, but it's true. I mean, it's like every time I turn around, there's something different now. There's diabetes, there's this, there's weight, there's teeth, there's something, there's bad back, bad feet, something.
Yeah.
I mean, and literally, I used to think it was funny as hell when my grandparents or older people would sit around and talk about all their medical stuff and everything. I just thought it was funny. And now it's just like, well, that's what you talk about because that's what you're dealing with.
Yeah. That's true. As you grow older, you talk about diseases.
Yeah.
Heart disease, high blood pressure.
My sciatica's acting up.
Yeah.
Which it is.
Is it?
Yes.
You're a psychotica?
Well, that too. That's been acting up for a long time. But the sciatica.
You're a psychotica.
So for listeners out there that are over 50, let us know what challenges are out there for people in their late 50s, 60s, 70s, what we got to look forward to. I know looking at those ages, for me, my fear is how am I going to take care of myself? Because I'm looking at Robbie's parents. They're in their 80s, and they can still do most things, but they still have sons to help take care of them. When they need stuff done, this, that, and the other, I won't have that.
I can't kind of imagine myself if I'm going to be really old and everything, and I would be in a nursing home, but I'll be still keeping myself busy mentally and whatever. I kind of imagine myself.
Male bearish orderlies down the hallway.
Oh, that'll be hot. Hey, Sonny, you look so hot, Sonny.
Take your teeth out and gum them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let me give you a gum job, honey.
Yeah.
All right,
so let us know if you're older than us in your 50s, 60s, 70s. Let us know what we have to look forward to. The article, Maynard will post a link in the show notes so you can go read the whole article. It's kind of fluffy, but I pulled out the meat of it so we could kind of talk about it and kind of reflect that, yes, this is kind of what we're going through. Because the other article I was thinking about putting on there was gay men and the Peter Pan syndrome. about never growing up and that issue. So that happens a lot.
Peter Pan syndrome.
Yes, and that's
the ones who hang out at the bar at the dance club.
Yeah, and they're 80. But anyway, which is okay if that's what you want to do, go for it.
Yeah, so, if you find it fun. All right, let's go to our entertainment, which is very interesting.
Well, an original X-Men member comes out as gay in the new Marvel comic.
Okay,
now,
which one?
I've known forever he was gay. I've known that Rogue and Kitty were just beards because he was just never, it was always something about him.
That's right. They're all beards.
That was about him. And we ain't talking about North Star because that tired old queen.
Oh, that's old news.
Anyway, we got this article from comicbook.com. In this week's all-new X-Men number 40, writer Brian Michael Bendis will finish out his run on the series with a finale that promises to have lasting ramifications for one of the original X-Men and leave fans talking. Bobby Drake, the X-Man known as Iceman, outs himself as a homosexual in the issue, which hit shops on Wednesday, according to the pages which leaked online. The reevaluation comes in a conversation with Jean Grey, during which Bobby is exasperated that his older self doesn't seem to be gay. Bobby has historically dated women, including a relationship with fellow X-Man Kitty Pryde, and in the movies he's also been close to Rogue too.
Yeah.
Bobby suggests that he could be bi, a distinction Jean agrees with, adding the qualifier that she thinks more full gay.
Well,
Bobby,
she can tell. She's a telepath.
yeah.
She can read her mind.
Bobby also suggests that
His
perhaps
mind.
his older self simply had never come out because he couldn't handle being a mutant as well as gay. The implication seemingly being that a trip into the future is enough for the younger Bobby to feel open with himself. With the public face of race relations seeming taking on a less overly hostile nature in the United States, the X-Men's long-standing narrative metaphor of discrimination and segregation has largely been transferred from being a metaphor about people of color to being a metaphor about LGBT people in recent years. The all-new X-Men 40 hit stands on Wednesday in comic shops and digitally on Marvelly.com and Comixology.
Okay.
Now, the X-Men, the reason I always read them and was a big fan of the X-Men is because being gay, I could relate to being a mutant and being an outcast, especially growing up in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't get that connection back then. I was too young.
I got it. Well, at first I didn't. When I was younger, when I was 13, 14, 15, I didn't get it. But as I got older and realized that mutants were these people, were a group of people that were outside the norm, that people hated and were prejudiced against, I finally associated those feelings with being gay.
You know what they should do? They should have a mutant pride parade.
For Iceman and North Star?
Yeah. Don't you think? Well, if it's Iceman, okay. So the first one who's he outed himself, North Star. Yeah. He's a mutant. Now it's Iceman. Who else? Who else are gay in the Marvel universe?
There's Huckling and Wiccan.
I don't know them. Are they X-Men?
They're new.
They're
new. The newer, younger generation of superheroes.
And they're gay?
They're gay.
Okay. I'd imagine,
if I'm not getting my universes crossed, if I'm not getting DC and Marvel, but I think Huckling and Wiccan are.
Since Iceman is gay, do you think he creates, ice dildos or something?
I don't know. That's something you'll have to ask him.
Yeah, but it's going
to be interesting to see if they pick it up and bring it over into the movies.
That's right. That'd be awesome. Him and Cyclops, the one who plays Cyclops. Wouldn't that be hot?
Well, there's a lot of comic book porn out there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Based on the X-Men. In fact, I read one a couple of weeks ago that all the men were doing Scott Summers.
That's right. Don't open your eyes.
Even Professor X got in on it.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh god.
It's a pretty hot little comic thing that I found. So that's our history. So let us know what y'all think about the new X-Men that's gay and how y'all feel about Bobby Summers being gay. I mean,
gay mutant. It's like, gay mutant. It's like being a gay black guy.
Well, I mean, I always kind of associate because he was always kind of repressed because in the comic books his parents wanted him to be an accountant. And he was a mutant, and he had to deal with all this stuff, and he was just never seemed like he was never a Wolverine type character. He never seemed very strong, even though he's a great character. I always liked the Iceman character, but this.
No, I could picture him. When he was hanging out, Amazing Spider-Man with and friends.
Yeah.
So he was always with Firestar hanging out.
Yeah.
It's all along Peter Parker is his crush.
I don't know. Might have been.
Yeah, might have been. It's time for the gay, the geek, and the bizarre. Okay, let's go with the gay, Ray. Should I take it or you take it?
It doesn't matter. You don't do the geek?
I'll do the geek.
Okay. All right. This week's gay is man jailed after slitting throat of man he met on dating site Grindr.
This is kind of morbid.
It is morbid, but it's something we
need to be careful, you gays.
Careful because people like to hook up and don't think twice about, somebody sends them a dick shot and they invite somebody over. I mean, and it's happened on Craigslist. What's that, Tinder? Is that Tinder?
Tinder's the straight one.
The straight one that has a lot of issues with kind of date rape type stuff and other bad stuff happening. So, a man who slashed another man's throat who had met on a dating site has been jailed for 12 years. Shane Dunn, 25, then pretended to call an ambulance while he watched his victim bleed. The victim was only saved after his flatmate returned home and found him in a pool of blood. Dunn, formerly of Victoria Road, Tunbridge, attacked his victim with a kitchen knife moments after they had engaged in sexual activity together, according to the police. The Baird met on Grindr, which describes itself as a site to find local gay, bi, and curious guys for dating and friends for free. Dunn was found not guilty of attempted murder at the Madskore Crown Court, but he was convicted of wounding with intent. The attack happened in September, and Dunn was sentenced yesterday, April 15th. Had it not been for the skill of the surgeons who treated Shane Dunn's victim, it is almost certain he would have lost his life following this vicious and wholly unprovoked attack. We may never know what was going through Dunn's head when he was not only slashed a man's throat, but then chose to further his suffering by only pretending to make the telephone call to the emergency services and giving the victim hope. His actions were cold and callous, to say the least.
It's murder.
While such incidents are extremely rare, this case should ask a warning to all to the risk associated with meeting strangers over the internet.
See, that could never happen with Growler. Scruff, never.
Yeah, right.
Who knows?
So, but the whole moral of the story says be careful who you invite to your house.
It's always good that if you're going to hook up with someone, you got to know him first, like a neutral ground. You got to go to a bar and meet there, and people would see you guys together. So if the cops ever ask, did you see this guy? Oh, yeah, he was this guy. He was with this guy, Yeah, I think it's really, it's kind of dangerous just to hook up with anyone.
And I watch Hannibal and stuff, and I've always thought for a long time that it would probably be pretty easy to be a gay serial killer.
You think so?
Yeah. Because it's easy to go meet people in a bathhouse and nobody knows where they're at, what they're doing, and kill them, torture them, do whatever.
Yeah.
And not even be linked to you because...
Well, in bathhouses, there are CCTV cameras. There are cameras going in.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily know if when somebody leaves, if they're leaving with you or what. I mean, there's always ways around it.
Things could be circumstantial after that.
That's right. So,
or let's do something geeky. Kind of a interesting geek that Ray got here. So meet the guy trying to revolutionize condoms. Let's see what's special about these condoms. 2 years ago, in March 2013, Bill Gates announced a new project through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to fund research into next-generation condoms. Is this for real?
Yes, this is for real.
It's voiced, okay. Okay. Although cheap, simple to make, and widely available worldwide, Gates noted that there's still one massive barrier to seeing this disease and pregnancy-preventing miracle of modern contraception used regularly and reliably. Most people think they feel like shit, robbing us of the sensation that makes fucking fun. Wow, this is real words from the news site, right? Yep. But of all the fascinating new condoms in the works, one of the most interesting is the hydrogel condom, an initiative from a group of material scientists at Australia's University of Wollongong. The scientists there who had little research experience with condoms until they got their Gates grant last June. So Project Geldom, gel condom, Geldom, hopes to use this ultra strong and skin-like material, famous for recreating body tissues and prosthetics, to get closer than ever before to recreating the feel of unprotected protected sex while still offering protection, in the process displacing latex. But beyond just feeling natural, the Wollongong researchers believe that their hydrogels could actually improve on the feel of natural sex. I wonder how. Building in automatically released internal lube. Oh, and Viagra, for instance, really, to make people just not accept condoms, but want to use them.
So imagine that, a condom you slide it on, it's already pre-lubed, and if you want to get one that's got Viagra in it, you can get a prescription for the Viagra condom, put it on, and it absorbs through your skin.
And then it would just grow. Wow, it just keeps you strong. Okay. So at the moment, the Wollongong team is still proving that their material can match the contraceptive power of latex and preparing for biometric tests to see exactly what effects on sensation their hydrogels can have. But while we wait for the new magic condoms to come onto the market, Vice caught up with the project leader, Dr. Robert Gorkin, to talk about the origins of the idea, hydrogels, and improving on natural sex.
So y'all can go to the link in the website and read the whole article because it goes into interviewing him because he's the guy that's leading up the project. So, but I thought it was quite an interesting thing that they're looking for something that's more than latex because condoms really haven't changed that much since prehistoric times. It was catgut with a knot in it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to latex. And even though they get super thin
Cat
ones,
gut.
it's still
Sheep's gut.
sheep gut, cat, whatever's available. You can use catgut too.
Cat would be smaller, too small. What? Sheep's
Yeah.
sheep's intestines are.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, it is interesting because right now, what are your options right now? You have these. There are Trojans have those ultra thin ones.
They have ultra trans. They have rib. They have lube. They have normal ones. I mean stuff. But the problem with most people, they still have a problem getting the perfect fit,
Mm-hmm.
and they still don't feel as good as not using condoms.
What about those? Remember we were talking about female condoms before.
Female condoms do feel more like bareback sex because it's the bottom. It's inserted into the bottom, and you're not wearing it.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. Okay. All right. So, what do you guys think? Will you be interested in these Geldoms?
And it might be interesting that the Geldom things, it might just come as a liquid, and you just like get it hard and dip it in it.
Yeah. Or they say, like,
or there's a foam you spray up in there, and it coats everything. And
or you kind of how do you? It's like a fleshlight. You just you jerk it a little, and then it hardens around your dick, and there you go, good to go. Maybe we'll see. Or spray.
Spray on.
Just add saliva. Add saliva. Okay, Ray. Let's go to the bizarre.
On to the bizarre. Your boyfriend sucks, but at least he didn't film himself fucking the dog. Now this is bizarre.
Thank you, Caesar.
Yeah. In a bad relationship, thinking, hey, my situation probably couldn't get much worse. Well, break up with the bastard and then thank the heavens that you're not this poor British woman whose man accidentally sent her a video he very deliberately filmed of himself fucking their dog. Now listed on Britain's sex offender registry, and one hopes enjoying the single life, David Buchanan tells prosecutors he had been home alone watching porn when he wondered what it would be like to have sex with the dog.
Oh, God.
Specifically, the Rhodesian Ridgeback he shared with his girlfriend, who was about to get a very unpleasant sext at work. She was at work on this day and received on her mobile phone a 29-second video clip from a tablet computer. The video showing him having sex with their 10-month-old Rhodesian Ridgeback. He added, it appears her mobile phone and her tablet are linked by the cloud, and that is the way the video was sent to her.
Oh, no.
The dude isn't going to jail, but according to the North Devon Journal, he will be listed on Britain's sexual offender registry for 7 years or for 49 dog years.
Oh, God, they had to bring that in for 20 dog years.
I thought that's pretty bizarre that dumbass filmed himself doing it, and it got transmitted because her cloud and her phone are hooked up, tied to the cloud together, so it downloaded to her phone.
That is just dumb. Well, it's dumb to do it in the first place. It's even dumber to film it. Good God. Well, yeah, bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre. All right.
On to viewer responses. You want to take the ones from Daniel?
Okay, let's get from Daniel. Okay, thank you for Daniel for messages. Okay, so the comment that Nard made me think of the following. He spoke about rejection in episode 563. As a chaser, we also experience rejection from bears. That's true. I always have that. However, it always baffles me that I have to be the one to approach a chub/bear guy. When I get to talk to him, they say, "Well, I did not approach you because I did not think I had a chance." I never really had that experience before, but I've heard about that story. I can't believe these words because words coming from such beautiful men that I would fucking kill to have sex with. Thank you, Daniel. So it would have been nice to be the one being pursued, at least every once in a while. Now I finally found a bear that meets all my needs that I'm very happy with. He does not complete me yet, but we are well on the way to being a happy couple. Aww. Wish me luck. Yes, I wish you luck. So take care and take a chance to be. So take a chance, you beautiful bearish man, and hit on the chaser. You never know how it will turn out. Yeah. So Yeah, he emailed
And
us
that's
about
interesting
Flight
because
63.
most bears that are into chasers usually don't have a problem going up and talking to them.
Who likes chasers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, also that's why we're called chasers. We were the ones chasing them. But Daniel, you have a point. It does feel good that that there's these bears coming after you. That'd be good. It's so much so that people, these bears would kind of tug on you, and then you end up saying, "Boys, boys, come on, settle down."
You wish.
I wish. I wish I could say that someday.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm not. I married myself, so I'm very happy. So should I keep going with the other one? No, it's
Yeah.
for you, Ray. Now it's for you
Well,
now.
no, he's talking about the rest of the episode. He sent 2 emails, so you listen to the episode.
Oh, here's the second one now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the second email. So, oh god, this is good. So Ray pretty much hit the nail on the head. No pun intended. I don't know why. For me, yeah, for me, he says for himself. A pretty penis will beat size any day of the week. I agree. That's true. It's got to be nice looking. Last year, I had sex with a beautiful, and when I say beautiful, I mean beautiful single bi divorced dad. Oh, hot. Those bisexuals.
Is he bisexual or bipolar?
But it's got to be bisexual.
Okay. You got to watch. These bitches say they bi.
But they're all gay.
Well, no, they usually mean bipolar.
Oh,
bipolar. Not bisexual.
He had to be one of the best looking and bearish looking guys I've ever had sex with. He was really masculine and very manly, just my cup of tea. However, his cock size was. Should I be saying the story?
Yes.
Keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Okay. Warn me. Okay, if you want to stop me.
We're not saying names.
We're not saying names, so it's okay.
Experiences.
So he was really yeah. Okay. So I was. However, his cock size was probably less than an inch erect. So it's probably a acorn in a bush.
Okay.
So I was baffled. I had no idea what to do about his needs. You can still do it. Come on. Just dick around it. So I did not know if I should offer to give him head. That would even be odd. Or ignore it altogether. No, you should give him head. I really did not need to suck it or be fucked by him as I am a top. But I was really concerned about what to do about him. It turns out that he really loved getting fucked. No problem there. Win-win situation. So I guess I met his needs. We parted, and I often wonder how the hell does he fuck anyone, a man or woman, with that thing. Oh my god. Yeah. He bragged about how much he loved to fuck women, and he has a son, so I guess he is capable. But man, would I love to witness that. Yeah. I'd like to watch, straight guys, watching. Yeah. I like to watch bear men having sex with their wives. Yeah. Once in a while. In porn. Once in a while.
On next tube.
On next tube. Or always, maybe. I don't know.
All right. The next 2 emails are from Z. The first one is from a couple weeks ago while he's talking about TBRU. And Maynard deleted it last week when he got back from his vacation. So we're putting it back on here. So this.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to read this. Go ahead.
Greetings from Dallas. A few comments for the show. Is there a reason why you guys changed the camera angle? Looks like both y'all have big heads with little bodies, and also cut part of the TV slideshow. Unless you do the show in sexy underwear, which might work. Anyways, I'm just being bitchy, but it's not a real big deal. Well, Maynard decided he was going to get a GoPro and try to film the show with that, and it just did not work out.
It didn't. Well, it didn't work on the second time. The first one is okay, but the camera angle was kind of weird because fisheye and everything.
Yeah.
And the second time, it just failed altogether. It's not really for podcasting. I don't think so.
Yeah. And
Not
there is a show called Under Bears Podcast that Dave does in his underwear.
Yes, that's right.
So we would not take away from his show by doing ours in our underwear. When we do ours, we usually do it in the nude.
Yeah, we do it in the nude. We
Yeah,
don't go this underwear shit.
That's right. So, Dave. Speaking of Dave. Oh, Dave, did he get a boyfriend or a husband? Cub and Reg are talking about a picture that was on the show. So he doesn't need to color his beard anymore? I was going to ask him about it since I haven't seen him in any of the shows. I didn't know he was 48 until I saw the pics. He's not 48, so I was joking about that.
We were just joking.
That's
He's
right.
41, something like that.
As for the masculine power bottle, I'm more curious about the expected sexual roles in the gay community. Tops, bottoms, versatile tops and bottoms. What about those who are interested in only oral or simply companion with no sex whatsoever? Do you know any couples who are content with that? Oh, before I forget, I saw the Mr. TBRU contest and I was wondering how they will represent the Dallas Bear community after winning the title. Okay.
That's a good question. Let's go to the top. Was it the
Yeah.
I think the term there is that you're sideways. I think that's the term now for people who just do oral side or this on the side. You're not top and the bottom. You're not versatile or anything, but you're just side. I don't know.
Well, I responded to Z's email about this, and I told him, I said, it all depends on the chemistry between you and the person that you're in the relationship with. Every relationship's different. Every relationship has different roles and different likes and things they do and don't do. So it's basically about the person you're with and if they're comfortable with the relationship y'all in and what y'all doing to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So don't get mixed up in the labels if you're a top or a bottom.
Yeah.
Because if you're enjoying yourself, yeah. What
And
else
also, the Mr. TBRU contest. I think it's just a title. I don't think they actually do anything.
That's the point.
It's not a title. It's actually like a sash. So
it's a sash. It's a title. I have yet to see an ad for if you're the Mr. Dallas Bear or whichever or whatever title you have, Mr. IBR, that you would hold a fundraiser because you are well known, everybody knows you, or your name is out there. You could probably put in the magazine, make a fundraiser to help charities and stuff like that. I think that has more impact if you have that title.
Well, certain titles do that. I mean, like Daddy of Montrose here.
Daddy Montrose, yeah.
Fundraising.
Daddy of Montrose, perfect.
Boy of Montrose, and stuff like that.
They do.
Some of the other titles have to do that. There's so much they have to do because it's a title and it's a community title that they have to go out and do stuff. But there are some titles it's just a title.
It's just a title.
It's winning a contest. That's all it is.
Yeah. I have yet to see a bear title holder who would hold a charity or hold a fundraiser or something like that. But yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Okay.
Okay. Now, on to the second email. After seeing this, which is I think last week's episode when we were talking about our appearances and our hang-ups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing this episode, it validates the bout of my self-esteem issues which comes and goes. Sometimes people tell me I'm cute, but I don't feel like that. I think it's more true in the gay community these days if you don't fit a certain stereotype. As for guys with big dicks, I actually prefer the average size 5 to 6 inches gasp. Muscular Asians wear.
Come on, Ray. You can do better than that. You did
5 to 6 inches.
Yeah, you have to. That's how you can. They gasp.
Muscular Asians wear. Not that many out there, so tell Nard to get over it. LOL. Talking about bear events, that's what I've been trying to tell you. It feels like hitting a double whammy being Asian and not a bear. I had to mentally prepare myself to block the word TBRU from my mind. I certainly agree with Nard that Asians are pretty much invisible at those events. Luckily, I did enjoy myself with friends there, so it wasn't a total bust. Eye candies are abound, but when they are just that, unless you get really lucky, then they come over and hit on you. The phone apps shit it up so funny and true. No one likes rejection. That's why I don't dare walk up to some stranger and tell him he's cute. You crazy? Well, after a few drinks and get totally buzzed, maybe.
Oh, so he had a bad experience at TBU. Well, it's more
he
didn't really.
I think it's like going to any bear event. It's like
any bear event,
like Bear Watch. People would be sitting there and they would message each other across from the pool, but they wouldn't get up off the asses and walk across the pool and talk to each other.
Yeah, like he look hot.
Because people are so. I guess bears have gotten so used to being rejected because of their weight or whatever that when they're in another bear event, they're still scared they're going to get rejected.
I remember back in 2007 when your bear run is really small, like 79 or 80 people. I remember back then, it was 2009 and 2009. I was in Nashville, the smallest run I've ever been. 79 people. And we had a blast. And I got to know a lot of people. And I was not ignored. And actually met a couple of friends there. And it's just amazing. But if it's a big event like TBRU, you have 1,600 people walking around. You tend to be ignored. Yeah, like I said.
Well, I also think that's just the change in the way the times have become. Like Houston area Bears, when they were around 15 years ago, the internet wasn't there, or it was just getting started, and everybody didn't have a cell phone to go surf the internet or chat or Growler or Grinder or any of that stuff. You had to go places, to bars, to meet people, or go to social gatherings or cookouts and stuff like that, and people socialized. But with the dating apps and all that stuff now, you don't have to leave your house.
Yeah.
You can call somebody and get a piece of booty anytime you want.
Like the guy who got slit his throat.
Slit his throat.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go out and talk or have a relationship with anybody. You get your rocks off, and then you're on your way.
But there are some success stories on these guys, on these
Well,
apps
I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying I think to a certain extent, people have forgotten how to talk to each other.
Yeah. That's why dinner tables. Oh, you'll catch me glance at my phone, like take a look at the time or take a look if there's a message, and not actively messaging people. I see people, in between meals, in between getting your order done, getting your drinks, getting order, you're in a group, you got your order, and then hit the phone and everything. I just don't do that. I think we should try doing that, putting a cell phone basket so everybody puts it there.
There. The person pulls it out, it's the one that's got to pay for everything.
Yeah, that's right. So. I'll pull it out, take off my pants off.
Yeah, I bet you will.
First one taking. This would be a win-win situation. All right, so I guess that's it. Anything else that we forgot? Birthdays? So. No, nothing? No? Happy 420.
No, it's Happy National Drug Test Day.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so I guess I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's just really something that we whipped up. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. If you want to contact us, send your emails to show@BearPodcast.com.
Or please call in and leave us a voice message if you'd like to comment on one of the topics we've discussed during this episode. The Bear Podcast voicemail number is 206-222-2327. That's 206-222-BEAR. Leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the show.
I can't believe you scripted that out. You've been saying that for 7-8 years or something.
I know, but I'm tired tonight, so I want to make sure I got it right so Dave wouldn't laugh at me.
Yeah, okay, so, we might lose that number.
Why?
The service is kind of bogging down. It's going to be a 2327 still, but we'll see. I mean, we'll keep at it because it's a nice number. It's a nice Seattle, Washington number.
Yeah.
So I've been using that for 10 years now. Oh my God, it's almost 10 years. Okay, so also subscribe via iTunes, Vimeo, and YouTube. You can also listen to the show on Bay Radio Network and Stitcher Radio. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And you can go to the official website at BearPodcast.com. Thank you, everyone, for watching or listening. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Bear Podcast. Many whoops and many hugs.
Woof, what a bear. Podcast your ass. Woof, what a bear. Woof, what a bear. Podcast your ass. Woof, what a bear. Woof, what a bear. Podcast your ass. Woof, what a bear.
I know I should try out for the voice.
The voice of reason.
Like Adam Levine, I need to build your team, man. I watch The Voice. I watch So You Think You Can Dance. I watch American Idol.